So today's guest is known for her Sims build, her funny, witty humor, and her like Sims unexpected moments. I've been to a few of her streams, and even though I wasn't able to chat, I could have laughed my ass off sometimes about what happens in her Sims or what it goes on in her chats and the oopsies that happen, which render her streams very hilarious. Let's all welcome DiscoBlahBlah, or Bethany, as some people call her, to today's episode.
Yeah.
So the first question I ask everybody is, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm a little tired, but I'm okay. I'm happy to be doing this with you. I'm really impressed with everything you're doing with your podcast.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, I tried kind of like being unique, but in a sort of repetitive way. You know how Dead by Daylight is different but repetitive?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm trying to be this way, but in a creative way. Because I've altered the content a little bit, like I've added more games in the games segment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, having like some kind of a formula, but tweaking it and kind of whoever you're talking to, there's going to be a little adjustment. Because I do mostly Sims, but if you're interviewing someone who does mostly horror, mostly like world building or something, then it's going to be a little bit different. So when you find something that works, go with it.
Yep. So your username is DiscoBlahBlah. That isn't a usual username, but it's a fun one. Where did you come up with, or how did you come up with this, and where did you find the idea for it?
So the name DiscoBlahBlah, the only other place it has ever existed on the internet is on a browser-based game called Kingdom of Loathing. And back in 2007, I started playing that game, and when you start in, it's sort of a satirical kind of a parody on a lot of other like multiplayer online games, but this is a text-based game. And so the character classes that come up are like silly versions of character classes. Like there's a Pastamancer and a disco bandit and a turtle tamer. And so I have always just like, I don't know, whatever, like blah, blah, blah is just something I'd always said. And so when I was like, I'll be a disco bandit because that little character's cute. Like she looks like she's dancing. And I was like, disco, blah, blah. So I created that account, and that is the only other place this name has ever been. So when I was doing that game, I was playing for a while before I realized there was a radio station that was an online station that was attached to the game. And so there was a chat channel for radio. And when I started visiting that, I ended up befriending several of the DJs, and I ended up having my own radio show for about 2.5 years. And so being DiscoBlahBlah and interacting with people has been going on since, like 2012. So it's, if you were to Google it, the only other place it would be is related to Kingdom of Loathing.
And
but
the radio.
It's just a cute name.
Well,
yeah, exactly. Well, because with that, one of my fellow DJs wanted to start streaming on Twitch, and he wanted to play Destiny, and he was like, I don't have anyone coming to watch. And I was like, well, let me make a Twitch account and I'll come watch your streams. So I did that. He only streamed for a month, I think. So I didn't touch my account for years and years, but it was named after that name because at that point I was playing Kingdom of Loathing.
Were you there since it was Justin TV, or did you move in when it became Twitch?
It was just after Justin TV, like right after. So it's a very old account. Actually, I don't know how to check it. Usually, I ask people in chats. Can you just tap me?
I could tell you, go to since you're modding for your friend. Are you in mod view?
No, I'm not.
Okay, go to mod view and click on your username in the chat, and if you don't find it, it should be in the community tab. Click on your username. It will tell you account created. Mine says June 17, 2020.
Oh, wow, yours is pretty new.
Yeah. I made it during the lockdown.
Everyone else didn't know what to do, and you're like, you know what? Twitch. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and funny story, I made Twitch just to watch Call Me Kevin, who is my gaming idol. And yeah, he kind of stepped away from Twitch, and he kind of took a step down from YouTube lately, but he still posts every Saturday instead of every day. And he even made me cry and laugh at the same time. Last time he said that because he was like, why do you guys watch me? Why am I famous?
That is so funny.
Yeah.
He's honestly, he's such a sweet soul. I love him so much. So, I love that that's something else, because that's something that Tragic Glamour and I have in common. We've discussed how much we love Call Me Kevin. So that's so cute.
This is what made me, actually one of the reasons that made me stay as well, because not only that, but Glam's content is like, her name suggests glamorous, honestly. Like, Glam is one of the people you'd watch and laugh your ass off. Like, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
She's very transparent. She's very blunt with everything she does. But when she does Sims content, I don't know why she's the luckiest living female on Earth on that aspect, because every single shenanigan happens in her Sims game.
I agree. My favorite thing about Glam is that it is such a like comfy, like supportive place, but it's so ridiculous and chaotic and feral also. And the Sims gameplay that happens there, because she uses a lot of different mods that do definitely add a lot of layers of the chaos, but even when she's not using the features of the mods, her Sims games are so crazy and she's so funny. I laugh so hard. Oh, okay, Lucifer, I found it. My account was created October 2nd, 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's almost 10 years.
Yeah, just over 9 years ago. So I didn't use it between probably like January of 2016 up until I installed the app on my phone February of 2022. I watched a ton of streamers on YouTube, like they're YouTubers, but they would stream their builds and stuff too. Like I watched James Turner and Lil Simsy and Vixella and like just a bunch of them. And so I was like, well, they're always kind of posting little speed builds from their Twitch streams. I should go check. Yeah. And so I got an SD card and I was like, what's the first thing I'm going to install? I'll get Twitch. So that it's been history from there. Honestly, Twitch has kind of taken over my life since then.
Oh, same here. But some of these people that you mentioned, like James Turner and his partner Deligracy, they both moved to YouTube streaming, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Full time. I was watching them when I came across them. It was in 2020. I was looking for like Sims content. I was like, ugh, I'm so bored with whatever's going on. I just want more. And then I was like, well, since now I'm into gaming, why not check the Sims aspect? And when I watched Little Simsy, all she does is like speak to chat. She barely builds. She barely does create a sim, or she spends 7 hours in create a sim, which was a snooze fest. And I didn't like how she spoke at some point. I didn't like her. Well, I was like, well, unfollow.
You know, the funny thing, Blue, is I like her. I like her YouTube content. I think that like what she does on stream is a real departure from what we see on YouTube, though. Like when there is a build happening, it takes forever, and I don't mean to cast shade, but you know her chat, if you've seen it, is so busy that she doesn't really respond to really big raids or people who are resubbing for like 65 months or something. Yeah. And for me, that's the sort of stuff that keeps you relevant for people when like they see that you recognize, respect, and appreciate what it is they're doing for you on your streams. I know that when you reach a certain level of like popularity that might shift some, but it just kind of turns me off in a way when I don't need you to say like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing you've ever done, thank you so much for subbing to me. Like, I don't need you to like freak out, but even just like oh thanks Lucifer or whatever, and move on. Like, and that's not really a thing, but it's so busy in her chat.
Yeah.
So I've only gone into her streams on Twitch twice and I didn't stick around. So yeah. If I would have not found some streamers who play Sims and I'd only come on during hers, I probably wouldn't have stayed on Twitch. Do you know, Lucifer, do you know Hi Hello Rachel?
Yep.
So when I installed the app, I just typed in Sims 4 to like see, and I think the top result or the second down, whichever it was, that was the first one that I noticed, was Rachel's. And she just looked really friendly, and it said she was like touring builds or shells or something. And so I went in, and that night literally changed everything for me, because most of the people that I'm friends with on Twitch now have come from her community, and now they've become such an important part of my community and my friend circle. And there are people who I'm friends with who I introduced to her, which kind of layered on the connections. So if anything, we can thank Rachel, because if I hadn't gone into her stream that night, I don't know if I would have stuck around Twitch. So it's funny how one little moment can really change the course of your life.
Yeah, I've been rated out to her, and then I kind of didn't stick around because it was like a big raid at the time, and I was like, okay, that's way too many people. I'm gonna back away. So yeah.
Yeah. When there's her chats can I'm a mod for her now. Her chats can sit a bit higher. She did make partner, and to do that you have to have like a kind of consistent viewer amount. But when I go in with raids and it's pretty massive and the chat's already full, I don't always stick around either. So I get that, especially when someone's like a partner, they have a tendency to get raided more often. So yeah, there's a lot of people that if you were in their chat, they could have pulled you over into Rachel. It's not surprising. Even Glam has raided her a few times. So yeah. The first thing I said before she got partnered, that was I think last year when I found her, is like, hi, hello Rachel. She has the perfect name for just like, hi, hello. Like it's perfect. You can't not want to like smile and be happy to like greet her when her name is so happy like that. But she has a very different vibe in her sim streams than Glam's. They are like, I love them both, but it's like two different worlds. Like,
yeah. So you already told how you discovered Twitch, but do you remember what was the first game you ever streamed? Considering it's like The Sims 4, but like some people shock me sometimes when they're known for a game, but they stream something else as a beginning. So me, I'm known for my cozy games. The very first game I ever streamed was LA Noire.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a departure, yeah. Now, the first game I ever streamed was The Sims.
Okay.
I started out, I wanted to play it, and so I was like, well, I need to do something special. So I found there was a streamer, I haven't really checked in a while, but their name is, I think, Egg Milk. They'd created this legacy challenge, and I was like, well, let me try that. So the first few of my streams were me starting out that legacy challenge, and I didn't end up sticking with it because it wasn't working. I didn't vibe, but that was my first streams were always The Sims. The variety stuff didn't start for a few months at least.
Yep. So what are your limits regarding your streams? Like, what would piss you off? What's the big no-no? What's allowed? What isn't in chat?
So I do not label myself as a family-friendly streamer. I don't put that in my tags or in my info in any way. But I by all accounts, am a pretty family-friendly stream. Like, I'll never say it because I don't want anyone bringing their kids in on purpose, but I don't curse. I think maybe a couple of times a sim has made me super mad, but like I don't really curse in conversation and when I'm streaming.
Yeah.
It was something that would have gotten me in trouble when I was on radio, and it's not really something I do all the time just in my personal life, so that's not really a thing. And so I tend to have a more chill community, so anything that is forbidden is nothing that's like, it's nothing surprising. Like, I have the usual, like, if you come in and you're spewing any sort of hate, like any sort of bigotry or hatred toward anyone, like LGBTQIA plus, like anything, like any hate, it isn't the place to be. I don't really want a trauma dump. Like, I'm a very empathetic person, and I care about people. And if you come in and you say, I'm just having a bad day, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I hope you're gonna, like, I hope you enjoy here. Like, if you want to talk, like, you know, we have a page on my Discord, or you can message, like, whisper personally or whatever if you do want someone to talk to. But, like, don't just come in and be like, my mom got ran over, my cat died, my dad left, my sister leapt off a building. Like, just don't dump on us when you come into chat, because, like, that'll kill a vibe in a split second. Like, imagine if we're just, like, playing The Sims and it's, like, something funny's happening and then all of a sudden someone comes in and they drop some heavy emotional stuff. It shifts my mood because I do immediately start to feel, like, sad. I'm like, oh, and that shifting the mood of the streamer is not good. So, beyond that, I don't like anything that's, I don't really want to ever have political or religious discussions in my chat. It's a place to game and hang out and just be friendly and not incite possible fights, and those are heated conversations that can happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, just, I don't say I'm a family-friendly streamer, but it's kind of a, like, don't be super, like, lewd or crude or hateful, and that's kind of it. Like, I don't have a lot of restrictions on stuff. I want people to be able to talk about themselves and what they like, but I think that's really about it. Just the kind of stuff that should be common sense, Lucifer. Like, you know, like, don't be the worst. Like, just don't be the worst. And I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah. So no. What I said to Disco in the beginning, she's like, I don't want any politics and I don't want a religion. I was like, well, all you guys need to do is vote DiscoBlahBlah, and that's it.
2024, vote for DiscoBlahBlah and cupcakes. That's my running mate, a cupcake.
Nice. So now let's talk a little bit like the mod aspect of things. How did you find, or how did you meet or discover, let's say, DiscoBlahBlah and the people you mod for? And how was the journey so far? How did you get mod, etc.?
Well, like when I first downloaded the app and I found my way into Rachel's stream, from there, the first time that I ended up actually being a mod from somebody was when I found Tragic Glamour, a couple of months after I found Rachel, I think. I went into her stream one day, and at that point, she just didn't have an audience, which I didn't understand. Like, I'm sitting there, and she's funny, and she's gorgeous, and she's just charming, and, like, so much of our interests, like, we're both millennials, like, so much of our Y2K kind of stuff, like, overlapped, and I'm like, people haven't found you yet. Like, and because I was in with her, she modded me pretty quickly, just because we bonded really quickly. So from moderating for her, the other streamers that I've kind of modded for have been, like, mostly just my other sort of Sims friends. Like, they've seen that I mod there, and then when they start, because several have started streaming after I did, and so a lot of those I mod for because if you are a streamer, you really are a good mod usually, because you kind of can spot like that should go. Because, well, I can't speak for you necessarily, but you know how you've been in streams where if someone some people don't really engage with chat. I do, and most of my friends do. And if
excuse me, but like some people say like, I could be in an intensive fight, and you know how intense Kingdom Hearts sometimes gets, for example. So I could be like having my ass handed to me by a boss or by Maleficent, let's say, or Pete, or any bad guy, and I would be focused on chat. So I was shiny hunting last time, and as soon as I ended the stream, a shiny appeared. I was like, really? Really, bitch?
Now
you do that? I was like, well, if and it was the bird, one of the Bedoves. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but like I was like, well, first of all, fuck you, bird. Second of all, I have you. Third of all, get in my ball.
I haven't played the game, but I have friends who have, so I got most of those references. The funny thing is when that sort of thing happens when you end stream. Like as soon as you're not in a place where you can clip it and none of your friends are there with you, that's when it happens. Like, oh, come on. Like now.
Yeah, and it wasn't the ones that I'm looking for. I'm looking for unknown, like how you're at the word unknown, but without the K. They're like letter Pokemons. They're like very rare, and Arceus gave us like a notion of them. So I was like, there's a special ruin area that you can go and catch them, but you have to encounter like over 1,000 of them. So I'm so shiny odds are not easy. And then there's the balloon Pokemon, and the balloon Pokemon has a very dark, like if you look at some Pokemon, they have very dark lore behind them. So the balloon Pokemon lures kids into the woods and flies off with them. So he abducts kids.
Heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah, I know. There's another Pokemon called Gorbis. It's like an eel Pokemon, but with a very sharp nose. Like one of those fish with a sharp nose. But this is said, if you look at the Pokedex entry, it says like it sucks the fluids of anybody who approaches it until they die.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some Pokemon are very brutal.
Intense.
Yeah.
In terms of Pokemon, my favorite is Snorlax. We relate on an incredible level. Love an app. But I did briefly, because I played a game that my Ingress. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I played that for a while, and the company behind Ingress, Niantic Labs, they were the ones who started Pokemon Go, app, because they were using the locations that had been marked as landmarks for Ingress, only they were using them for like gyms. And so I tried that out for a little bit, but I was never into Pokemon when I was younger, and my experience with Pokemon is now mostly just in the people who have it as an extension on their channels on Twitch. I have a lot of Pokemon now, quite a bit. I have a nice collection. Don't know what to do with them, but I collect them.
Every time there's a Psyduck, I love Psyduck beyond anything. And people started like screaming at me when I used my Master Ball on a Psyduck one time. I'm like, I don't care, get in my ball. Master Balls are kept for like Mewtwo and these like legendary Pokemons.
But it's Psyduck. I get it. Psyduck is so cute. So like,
and that ended up being a shiny Psyduck. So what are the odds?
So you using that ball was well worth it. That's so good.
Yeah. And I'm working towards a living Pokédex in my Switch, whereas like I collect them, I'm like 800 something out of like 1,025 so far, so I need a lot more. And two of these are shiny Psyducks. A lot of them. Yeah, 2 of these are shiny Psyducks.
That's cool.
Yeah. So what differs between streamer and mod, by the way, for the people who just started or maybe either streaming or just got a sword in channels?
I think that the difference between streamer and mod is that as a streamer, you obviously are like at the forefront of like what people are coming in for, because generally, as you start to build a community, for the most part, people will be there for you, even if you're kind of playing a few different kinds of games. You will have some who only want to see you do Sims, or only want to see you do Kingdom Hearts, or only want to see you do Fortnite or whatever. But you'll kind of build a community, and so you are greeting people when they're here, and you're interacting with chat, and you're, keeping them entertained. And as a mod, yeah, you need to greet people when they come in. You want to say welcome in. It's it's almost like a bouncer at a club, but not like if you walk up to a club, there's someone standing there who you speak to, and you know that it's not their name on the side of the building, but they are kind of somebody who you have to listen to. So you will greet people when they come in, and then if there's any need to do any sort of deleting messages or banning or timing out, obviously you step in. But beyond that, it kind of depends on what the streamer wants from you. I think for the most part, I am just such a social person that even when I'm modding, I'm still just really engaged in chat. But for some people, I have a lot of friends who are mods who they don't stream, but they are mods in a lot of channels, and they only type in chat when they're triggering a raid message or a shout out or something. They're not chatting. They're just watching to make sure that if anything inappropriate happens, they can handle it immediately, which is good. I catch stuff pretty quick, but if somebody's not trying to chit chat, they're gonna obviously be honed in if somebody comes in with a hate, a racist name or something. So I think that if you're gonna be a mod, the best move is to ask the streamer what role they want from you. Do you want me to be social and kind of keep chat engaged? Because sometimes you really are. If the streamer's playing a game that's really action heavy and they're really locked in, mods need to kind of try to make sure that there's still some action happening in chat. Keep the vibe going, be a bit of a hype person. So it really does depend on the streamer. Do they want someone who just monitors, or do they want someone that engages and supports? There's a bunch of different ways to approach it. For me, in some of my streams that I'm on for, it really is more just monitoring. And in others, I'm just it's just a bunch of besties, but I've got the shiny sword. So yeah, it just kind of depends. I think if anybody wants to start streaming, then even that they need to figure out who they trust to be a mod for them, because when someone has that sword, it says, I'm also someone to respect here. I've been entrusted with power. You have to listen to me. So that means that they have to be someone that is not going to make you look bad. Yeah. If they are someone who is sort of extreme in chats and stuff, it's going to be hard for them to be taken seriously or respected. So if you're going to stream, figure out who's trustworthy to help you. And if you're going to help, ask what they would like from you so that you can be the best mod possible.
Yeah, that's kind of what I end up having, either a diamond or a sword in most of my friends' channels. And when I link people up, they're like, Blue, you're everywhere. I'm like, well, yeah, I run the place, bitch.
Yeah, I've been kind of like that. I am all over. And there have been sometimes people who are a bit newer to Twitch, and they're like, wait, you're here too? And I'm like, I'm everywhere. Because I don't know, it's really, I make friends pretty easily. So if I'll go into someone's stream and I'll just vibe with them, I might see somebody else in chat and I'm vibing, and then that person's also a streamer, so I'll go into their stream. So I do, I have a really broad group of people that I love getting to check in with, and time zones suck. Because for you, I so rarely have gotten to see you, Blue. We are on the drastically different time zones. For me right now, it's 6:14 a.m.
Oh, wow. It's 1:14 p.m. here.
Yeah, it's so if you're doing like, I have a weird sleep schedule anyway, but anytime I see the notifications for your streams come up, it's usually when I am like in bed asleep already, or it's a really busy time of day.
There's a question before it slips my mind. Like, have you,
Okay.
you don't use camera usually, and have you ever considered either using camera, and if you're camera shy, have you ever considered probably, because it's not a problem if you don't use a camera, but like some people use PNG, some people use VTubers. Why did you choose to go like faceless or just cameraless or anything?
Okay. Well, it kind of ties back to the reason why streaming on Twitch is so easy for me is because I was doing the online radio station DJing for a while. And for that, like, there was obviously no camera attached to it. Like, there was the occasional, like, we would go into like a Slack channel and turn on the fellow DJs would like have a little hangout. But it was like during my shows, it was just my voice. And I think I have a really clear, emotive voice. It's not really hard to understand if I'm excited about something or what I'm feeling or thinking. So I think that helps. I think if I was somebody who had a really monotone voice and everything sounded like this, and I'm just glad that we're playing this game and blah, 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 blah. that if you have no camera and you sound like a wet rag of boring, it's going to be harder to vibe in a chat. But I am pretty animated. And in terms of not using the camera that I was using at first was really poor quality. And it just made me look blotchy and weird and blurred. And so I was like, okay, well, I have a different camera now. And it's okay, but it has the ring light around it that I can't turn off. And I get migraines really badly. So I was like, okay, well, let me try a different light source. And in order to be lit well enough, I have to have lights on that mean my streams have to be really short. Like, it like throws me into a migraine so badly. I was on camera 90% of my anniversary stream back in May, and that was a 12.5-hour stream.
Oh, wow.
But I think that I can say I've been streaming now for since May 6th of 2022. So we're at, a little over 2.5 years at this point.
Yeah.
I think of all of my streams, it's more of a percentage. I think the total time I've been on camera has only been 15%, maybe. And I think the biggest reason that I didn't go for something like the PNG tuber or the VTuber stuff was I don't think it really fits sort of my, I don't know that it's branding, but it doesn't really kind of fit my theming of sort of like who I am as a streamer or my chats. I think if I played a lot more like little cozy games that had some more like anime tones to it, maybe. But for me, I'm mostly Sims, and I'm a bit older, and I would feel a little bit strange having some sort of young looking little character, or a cute animal. I don't know. Yeah. I have a few friends who that's all they do. They never do camera, and they always have like a little character or VTuber or like a PNG or whatever that they use. And that's fine for them, but it just never made sense for me. I don't even know what I would use, Blue. Like, what would it be? Like a weird disco ball that would just be in the corner, like, meh, meh.
No, I think you could use, I've seen some people use like VTubers or their sim as a VTuber or as a PNG, for example. For a PNG, you need like 4 images. And Quill made me like a PNG tuber. That also she used some of it to make some of my new emotes. So I use it when I don't feel like I want to be on camera, and I haven't used it ever since probably summer, because I had some PC issues and they're not gone, they're just not configured anymore. So yeah.
So it was of your sim?
No, it's like she made a PNG of me. But that doesn't resemble me. But like, so I know someone that uses their sim as a VTuber, and they hit partner very quick because of that. So I was like, what?
So how does that even work, Blue? Did they take like is there a way that they animated like a version of their self sim so that it looks like it's?
I don't know, honestly.
I mean, well, that's the sort of thing I could possibly see, like maybe, but like I don't even know how you would do that.
One of my mods and friends, Plenty of May, she had her PNG tuber, her friend drew her something that is a fox or a red panda. Actually, sorry, I'm not saying fox or red panda, but as a human. So she is like a human red panda because she loves red pandas, and yeah, she worked so hard on that to create it for May, and now she uses it. So
that's so sweet.
Some people are very talented.
So
yeah, some people are very
good. Well, and if for anyone who is comfortable being on camera, I think it's really sweet if people step up and try to help like that. If like they're so talented that they can do that. That's so kind. That is so kind. I made kind of a goal for myself that this year I was going to try to be on camera more, and I mean, other than that anniversary stream, there's only been a few times, but I have a backdrop up hanging from my ceiling that I have had up since that anniversary stream. So a couple of times I have popped on camera. Because, like, if it's already up, it inspires me to do it more. I've noticed that. I'm like, well, I've already got the backdrop up, so might as well. I'm going to try really hard that, like, for 2025, I'm trying to do things that might feel a little scary, but I know that they will be better for me. And I think one of them will probably be trying to use my camera a little bit more. I was thinking, because even if it isn't during the gameplay that I'm doing, in case I pull a weird face that isn't cute, if I can just start out when I'm like starting out my stream or when I'm closing out to be on camera to just, you know, like be there during that, I think that would be my goal, to try to like as much as I could do that, because then it still gives that personal like connection that I want to give. Because I'm not hiding because I don't want to be seen.
Yeah. It's so just... one of the people I know, he uses most of his gameplay, and he's a partner. Most of his gameplay is PNG, and when he gets raids, he uses those pins, so he puts them on his beard every time he gets raided or something. So he goes on camera.
Aww.
So you could do that, or you could have an alternative where I just turn on all the lights in the room, and I don't use a light that's like blinding in front of my face, because I have a cheap webcam that uses that works wonders. And I have like a light to my right that's what's it called? A side table light, but it's in my office, or not office, well, the living room where I sit. And there's the ceiling lights, the chandeliers from the ceiling, whatever you call them. And I turn these on, and they work perfectly. So I stream during the day, plus that helps. When I stream in the evening, it's like also helpful. So probably you could try that.
Yeah, I've got a little table lamp here on my desk, and when I was on camera before, it was just this that I was using. But most of my streams happen when it's not light out, and my office is at the back of my house, so I don't get the direct sunlight at my windows. So it doesn't really stay very bright. The funny thing is, right now, I need to buy another light bulb. My overhead light, I have just like a ceiling light in my office, and the bulb went out, oh my god, Blue, probably like a month ago at least. So every time I come into my office, I'm moving around like I'm blind until I can get over to the table to turn on my lamp.
Oh my god.
It's so bad. But yeah, I've done that before, and where I put my backdrop, the light does hit it a little bit weird from the overhead light, but down on the camera you can't see it so much. It's yeah, the lighting, to get the best lighting, I need to use like the ring light on the camera or whatever, but as long as you're well enough lit, I don't think you don't have to have fancy equipment. Like, yeah. people can literally use the sun or their table lamp. Like, it doesn't have to be a full photo shoot.
So this is segment number 2.
Okay.
I've added a few little mini games to play. First one is similar to Kill, Marry, Sleep With. In this game, I will name a set of 3 games each time. You will have to tell me which one you'd play, which one you'd delete from existence, and which one you'd uninstall. So but when I say play, you get to keep it forever. It lives there. It never goes away. When I say delete from existence, that also includes the whole franchise. By that, it's like gone from existence. No one has any memory of it. No one can get it back. It's just like ceased to exist. Gone. It's gone. It's disappeared into point of no return whatsoever. Even if you try to recreate it, you'll get DMCA strikes and you'll get like probably shut down. So it's gone. And uninstall is kind of like when you get a demo. You have to either play it all the way through and never go back to it, but it still exists, or play it a little bit and just move on.
Okay.
You have 3 jokers that allow you to keep all of the games or delete all of the games. You cannot keep one and save 2, or save 2 and or delete 2 and keep 1. And
I have 3 jokers?
Yeah, 3 jokers. And you can also skip if you blank out.
Okay.
Alright, so we're gonna start off with The Sims, Palia or Palia, Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Oh, okay. It was keep, uninstall, or...
Play, delete, uninstall.
Play, uninstall...
Delete.
Delete. Play, uninstall, delete. Okay. Play The Sims. Uninstall Palia.
Okay.
And I guess delete Disney do it? Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So Fall Guys, Party Animals, Chained Together.
Oh, okay. Fall Guys, Party Animals, and then Chained Together. Oh God, that's hard because 2 of these I do like. I will say play Fall Guys. I think I'll say uninstall on Party Animals because if I were able to play it, would probably only be like a demo or something. And I guess we can oh wait, delete is get rid of it forever. So delete, Chain Together, uninstall Party Animal.
Okay. So Cyberpunk, GTA, and Saints Row.
Oh God. Cyberpunk, GTA, and Saints Row. Play GTA. Uninstall Cyberpunk. Delete Saints Row.
Okay. Pal World, Pokemon, and some Digimon games.
Okay, hold on. Pal World, Pokemon, and then Digimon. Okay. I'm gonna say play Pokemon, uninstall Pal World, delete Digimon.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Persona.
Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Persona. Okay. I'm gonna say play. Actually, they're kind of in order. I'm gonna say play Kingdom Hearts, uninstall Final Fantasy, delete Persona.
Okay. Apex, Fortnite, Valorant.
Ooh, okay. It helps that some of these I have no experience with. So for this, play Fortnite, uninstall Valorant, delete Apex.
Okay, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Battlefield.
Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and then Battlefield. Okay.
So Battlefield is like the EA version of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Battlefield played, and that was okay. I think I'll say, based on what I've seen, I'll say play Battlefield. Uninstall Counter-Strike and delete COD.
Okay, PUBG, Overwatch, Halo.
Okay, PUBG Mobile was my jam, Blue. So PUBG, Overwatch, and Halo?
Yes.
Play PUBG, uninstall Overwatch, delete Halo.
Okay, Valheim, Minecraft, Stardew Valley.
Ooh, oh god, okay. You're really making it rough here. I'm gonna say play Minecraft, uninstall Stardew, delete Valheim.
We're gonna do one horror thing because I know that you might have dabbled with it. So it's Phasmophobia, Demonologist, and Devour because it's super popular.
Well, I don't want any of them. Phasmophobia, Demonologist, and what was the last one?
Devour.
I don't know what that one is, but I'm gonna pretend that it's just a monster who's eating a delicious meal. Maybe
remember there's jokers you can use, so feel free.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh god. Give me the joker.
Okay, so delete all of them.
Okay, they're all gone.
Okay. So the last ones are Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, and Tomb Raider.
Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, and Tomb Raider. Okay, I'm gonna say play Tomb Raider. Uninstall Uncharted and delete Assassin's Creed.
That kind of makes me sad, but that's fine.
But I have no experience with Assassin's Creed or Uncharted.
No worries.
Like none.
When I was playing Assassin's Creed one time, one of my friends came in and she said, "Oh, this is the game with the magical hay." Because you jump from buildings and you land in hay safely.
So the hay is magic. You never incur any injuries.
One of my friends was streaming Assassin's Creed and the hay killed him because it was a glitch that he fell on the edge instead.
Oh no. Oh, that's sad. You think it's gonna save you.
Yeah.
That is so sad. Well, I'm sorry to break your heart about Assassin's Creed. I just have no experience with it.
No worries. All right, so this is game number 2, which is called Rename the Game. The goal of this mini game consists of like simply going back and forth, renaming the games. You can use your games that you have installed, anything on your Steam library, anything that comes up your mind.
Ooh.
We need to replace one word from the game title with the word luscious. For example, let's say the word is bean. Let me give examples. Like, for example, Alan Bean, Grand Theft Bean, Bean Flipper, etc. So it's all improvised. We need to think of a game name and modify it until the time runs out. We have 2 minutes. Let me just grab my timer. And
so is it one game that we're just going back and forth, or we're going back and forth?
Going back and forth with games.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with since the word is luscious, Luscious Cry, which is Far Cry.
I'm gonna say Luscious Universe, which is Catan Universe.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Luscious, or Luscious Order.
I'm gonna say Don't Starve Luscious instead of Don't Starve Together.
This is my favorite game of all time.
Is it?
Yes.
Yee.
Sid Meier's Luscious 7.
Luscious Simulator Demo.
Goat Luscious 3.
Goose Luscious Duck.
Among Luscious.
Rocket Luscious.
Stardew Luscious.
Roller Coaster Luscious 2, Triple Thrills.
Luscious Together.
Luscious Rancher.
Luscious Hearts.
Luscious Valley.
Assassin's Luscious.
Town of Luscious 2.
Luscious Raider.
Ticket to Luscious.
Little Luscious.
Super Luscious Royale.
Silent Luscious.
Robot Roller Derby Luscious Dodgeball.
Luscious Clowns from Outer Space.
Where the Luscious tastes like wine.
Luscious by Daylight.
Who's your Luscious?
The Jackbox Luscious Pack.
Back to the Luscious episode 1.
Oh my god. The Luscious Descendant.
Cook Luscious Delicious.
Grant Luscious Auto.
Fishing Luscious.
Luscious Flipper.
Oh, Luscious Legacy.
Alan Luscious.
Moon Luscious.
Final Luscious 7.
Hamster Luscious.
Luscious Animals.
Strong Luscious episode 1, Homestar Runner.
Okay, that's all the time we have. So I think I think you won because you said one more than me.
Yay!
Nice.
I was panicking because I didn't have that many more games because a lot of the ones on my Steam library are like just episodes of the same game, and I'm like, I've only got 2 more.
For example, if I said like Final Fantasy, you can name any other Final Fantasy. It doesn't have to be one. Like for example, you know.
Okay, well then I could have kept going because like Back to the Future has like 8 versions. Strong Bad has like 5. Like I could have gone places.
It's fine. All right.
That was fun. I like that game.
So this is segment 3, which is kind of like a pop quiz / lightning round, where you can either reply briefly or just give a like very descriptive answer if you want.
Okay.
So do you mind telling me and the listeners what's your daily routine or something that you started picking up on doing and has become something regular?
Honestly, I don't have a super consistent routine, but I've been trying to instill a bit more healthy actions into my days. And for me, I struggle to eat. So I've been trying to force myself to have like a better schedule of trying to like feed myself and trying to just get a little more sleep because I'm really bad at that. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, but mostly my daily routine is sleep a few hours and sit on Twitch a lot.
Okay. What would you do with $1 million?
Pay off my mortgage, buy a car, put like $400,000 in a savings account, go on a nice vacation, and I have a few friends that are in really bad situations, and I would try to help them get on their feet.
Yeah. If you were ever to be any object or creature, whether real or fictional, what would you be and why?
I think I would like to be a bird because I would like to be able to sort of freely travel around as I want and kind of be able to see so much more of the world.
Any type of bird, like any specific type?
Maybe like a really beautiful one, like a macaw.
Okay, that's cute. I would be a Tuni Pegasus, which is like a unicorn with 2 horns and wings.
Oh, that's very elaborate. I like that. That's a good choice.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite hobbies?
I love painting, watercolor or acrylic. I really like singing. I love dancing poorly. And I really like playing silly games on my computer. I love watching movies and listening to music. I like doing paper crafting, like making cards for people. And I do like to cook.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Ooh. Rude, abrupt endings to interactions. Like, don't slam a door in my face. Don't just hang up without a goodbye. Don't just, like, walk out of a room when I'm talking to you. Like, I hate that. It's even just saying, like, I'm going, bye, is enough. But, like, just hanging up or storming off or whatever, I hate that. So, it's so disrespectful.
Okay, which of these three things would you give up if you ever had to? Money, gaming, or love?
The thing is, I don't love money. I think money is often the root of evil, but I think it is more essential to maintain survival than gaming. So even I love gaming so much, but I think I would just have to give that up and try to just tune in more to other creative things I like doing, because I don't want to live without love. And unfortunately, I need money to have shelter and food. So sad. I guess if I lost gaming, I could just be on Twitch as a variety
Moderator?
art streamer. Just a mod. I'll just be a mod. But yeah, I think of those, as much as I hate it, I think it would have to be gaming, because the other things are kind of more vital to life.
Yeah. What's one thing or person you cannot live without?
My husband.
Aw.
Yeah.
What's one thing you spend a lot of money on besides games?
Have you seen grocery prices now?
Oh
my
yes.
God. I am amazed at how expensive groceries are. Yet another reason why my brain's like, we don't need to eat today. But like, I think honestly, other than like if I'm doing any little things for games, like buying any DLC or whatever, I think honestly, groceries are probably like the thing that seems to be the biggest money suck.
What's something you always wanted to learn but you couldn't find time for?
More foreign languages.
Nice. I am currently trying. By trying, emphasis on it, because I haven't been practicing much lately, trying to improve my Russian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So if your life was ever to be a video game, what would it be called and why?
If my life was a video game,
Yeah.
probably the incredibly anxious blah blah. And it would just be my little character fumbling around, acting silly, having weird interactions, facing little crazy challenges and boss fights. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think that would be it.
mine would be either ... or what now or WTF, what the fuck. So, yeah.
I love that.
So, this is a three-part question. Which is one of your all-time favorite songs?
There's a song by a band called Elbow. The song is Starling. I love that song a lot.
Okay. What's one of your all-time favorite movies?
Fifth Element.
Nice. What's one of your all-time favorite TV shows or series?
Firefly.
If you had the chance to switch lives with one celebrity from today, who would you pick and why? Just for one day.
For one day. It would probably not be as exciting as a lot of people think, but I think it would be really funny to be Kristen Bell for a day. Okay.
Alright, so mine would probably be Kim Kardashian, and I've said that a lot before for three reasons. The first reason is I want to call her sisters bitches or just like insults. Second reason, I want to see what goes on in the background. And third reason is because I want to smuggle some of her money to my family.
Those are fantastic reasons, I think.
Yeah. So, if you had one special superpower, what would it be and why? And how would you use it?
Teleportation. Because most of my friends live all over the planet, not even kind of nearby. So for the more fun reason, it would be like, obviously, like, let me teleport straight into a concert I would love to go to. But the more normal, like every day, there's at least one moment where like, I'm like, oh, I really wish I could go see so-and-so. Or if a friend is having a bad day, I'm like, I wish I could be there and hug you. So I would love to be able to just go where I want.
Oh my god, mine is the same.
I love that. I mean, I'm flying is cool, but what if you can just get there right away? Like, teleportation feels like the move.
100%, 100%. So these are food-related questions. What is your favorite drink of choice?
My favorite drink of choice. Are we talking soda or like juice?
Both, maybe alcoholic and normal.
Alcoholic, I really love a Bay Breeze. It's like coconut rum and cranberry and pineapple juice and like a splash of cherry or cranberry, I think. And for soda, I really like real sugar Pepsi because I hate corn syrup. The flavor in sodas is, I hate it so much.
Wait, there's real sugar Pepsi?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know that because I have something called, maybe I highly recommend this because I've been recommending it to friends all over the US. It's called Bolero. It's like powdered drinks. There's a cola flavor, there's a cherry cola flavor, and they are gluten-free, they're vegan and vegetarian, and they just like taste the same but with no sugar.
Wow. What is the artificial sweetener they're using?
I don't know, but it's healthy. Everything's healthy.
Okay.
It's like you can get a pack from Amazon, I think, but you can also go to their website, bolero.com, and you can choose your flavors, like handpick your flavors.
I'm literally looking it up right now. Okay. Is that something that you have like an affiliation with, or it's just something you like? It looks like they're making it with stevia, which is like my choice for what I prefer to use. But they also use sucralose, and I don't use that because that one's... We don't have to talk about it here, but sucralose is like a really not good thing to use.
Yeah, but it's still like good because it's like an alternative for me because I kind of have an eating disorder, so instead of like food, I drink these at night.
So it's definitely a lot better of an alternative. And honestly, they're things like sodas especially, I do really try to limit myself on. As weird as it is, one of my very favorite things to drink, I drink just water all the time. Just like so much water.
Yeah. And I've told one of my friends about Bolero, and they like, it's my water alternative now. So it's like, it's good. It's calorie free, I think. It's like the highest calorie they have is like 10 calories.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what's the weirdest food you've ever had?
This is gonna be really weird, Blue. So I didn't realize how weird it was until I was probably like 4 years old. But when I was really little, like a toddler, my mom would eat pickled pig's feet, and she would share them with me. And I didn't think they were strange at all until one day I looked at it and I'm like, is this a hoof? What is this? Because my mom, a lot of her like family background is German. They really love pickled vinegared kind of stuff. And so just instinctively she liked it. And like, it just didn't feel strange when I was like 3 years old. But as soon as I realized what it was, I was like, no. So like, I love pickles, but I've never again wanted to go anywhere near that because looking at what they look like now, I'm like, oh, poor little Bethany.
Oh my god. I think we agree on that aspect because pickles are evil and I hate cucumbers.
No,
like, cucumbers,
I love pickles.
No, but cucumbers make me sick. Like, I don't like cucumbers. Yeah, it's not like I'm allergic or anything because to a point in life I thought I was, but it was the spices that they add to the pickles that made me allergic.
Oh,
So
that stinks. No,
yeah,
I love pickles. But I know that would make sense. Some people do have a real sensitivity, like the dill and the little seasonings and stuff.
yeah, but
So,
no, but like
aw.
the cucumber itself like grosses me out. So I'm like, nah, yeah,
Yeah, I won't eat cucumbers just like on their like I won't like have them in salads or anything. I will
I
only
would.
have it if it's in a pickle.
I would. I just don't like them on their own. I would have them with salads. I would have them with anything else that's flavored, but on their own, they're like I don't know. They're like menacing.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't
So
want them either.
what's what's your favorite traditional food from your state or country? Either or, like your favorite or a traditional thing that you want to introduce people to.
Um, in ter- it's a little easier to say something that's kind of closer to where I live now. I live on the East Coast near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and a Philly cheesesteak is so good. Like if you're getting it from like a legit place that like they are making them very authentically. So every time anyone ever visits me, if they're not from the area, I take them to go try a cheesesteak from my favorite place. So that's probably my answer.
Okay. And what's one of your favorite comfort food of all time?
Lasagna.
Ooh, mine is either chocolate because I'm a slut for chocolate, and probably you're gonna hate me on this, but pineapple pizza.
Blue, no. No, Blue, no.
I even put ketchup on the pineapple slices.
You do know that pineapple is the only food that eats you back, right?
I don't care. It can eat me. It can eat me any day. If you put no, but pineapple does do that. And cherries have a different story. But like pineapple, if you put it long enough on your skin, it can eat you back. But
Yeah, no,
cherries,
it eats the protein, so it'll eat your tongue and stuff. It's really intense.
if it's fried, I don't think so.
Probably not. That might neutralize that. Actually,
Yeah.
if you like grill it or fry it or something, like and grilled fruit's pretty great. So I like pineapple. To be clear, I like pineapple. It like a fresh pineapple, like chunks and stuff. I feel them eating my mouth, but you just eat them quickly and it's okay.
Yeah,
But
I've
on
had
pizza, no,
I've sliced a pineapple recently and I've eaten it and I've felt like a happy kid. But cherries have a different story. So cherries are known to eat the cancerous cells. If you ever heard that,
No. I love cherries though.
yeah, they if you have like any bad cells in your body and if you eat cherries, they eat them.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how accurate this is, but I've heard it a lot.
I'll definitely probably try to read into that because that's the good thing about a lot of fruits and vegetables. They give you like good antioxidants and like some good protections, and they help your body like filter stuff better. And there's a lot more to it than just like for some people going vegetarian or vegan, they don't want to eat meat. Like still having a good amount of fruit and vegetables in your diet, even if you're like you love eating meat, it's really good.
So this is the final segment, which is the mental health segment. In this segment, we'll be talking a lot of things between mental health or life experience. And I've asked DiscoBlahBlah or Bethany about what she wanted to talk, and she named me a few things. Mental health is not an easy subject to talk about. There might be some triggering stuff as such in the past. I apologize for what I'm going to be saying, but if you feel the urge to, some of the listeners to dip out, skip, because we've spoken about, I'm sorry about the words I'm going to say, but we've spoken about rape, we've spoken about abduction, self-harm, suicide. A lot of things can go down in this segment, so please listen at your own risk, and feel free to dip out if you feel like some stuff that you might listen or hear can trigger you. Today's subjects are not that heavy, but they're very mental health oriented. We're going to talk about like bipolar, the bipolar stuff, and we're going to talk about some not that triggering stuff. So I'm going to leave the talking to Bethany. So go ahead.
So I have throughout my life struggled with depression at a lot of different points, and as a result of a lot of traumas that have happened in my life with family and some abuse, I've developed some beautiful PTSD, and so that has been probably maybe the hardest thing, is just trying to reckon with the lingering effects of the traumas that we experience in life. Beyond that, I am diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I have pretty crippling anxiety. So my day-to-day life is sort of ruled by how well my head is combined with how well my body is. Because while it's not mental health related, I was in a couple of car accidents, and I have some permanent injuries and damage. And so on a day where my mental health is better, often that's the day where I'm more aware of how much pain I'm in, because I have chronic pain. So it's a balance every day, trying to just do my best to not sink into the darker bits, because I'm just a really anxious person. I was telling Blue that I would get into more of it now, but that is why Twitch is such a good place for me, because it is giving me a really safe place to go for my social interaction that doesn't tax me or hurt me or make me feel unsafe. When I am streaming, I'm genuinely so happy to just be hanging out with my friends. When I'm sitting in someone else's stream chatting, it's such a safe place for social interaction for me, because the more trauma and bad stuff that's happened, the more that I've become an extroverted introvert, and it can be really hard for me with my anxiety to even leave my house. And it's been like that since right after I got married. Right after I got married, my husband and I came back here because he lived here in New Jersey and I lived in Indiana. So we came here, and he lost his job a week later. And then we spent like 2.5 years with real terrifying, no food, might be kicked onto the street. Like, it was a dark time, and that set darkness in for me with some really strong anxiety that never fully went away. Because once you've seen situations that are so scary, it's sort of set in your brain that anytime that something is like a little bit of a reminder of that might be happening, you feel it all over again, and you go straight to that dark spot. Even if it's not that extreme, it feels like it is once you've experienced the worst stuff. So every day I'm just trying to not be my enemy, not be my worst enemy to myself. That's kind of what I deal with on the regular. The PTSD stuff is related to some traumas. Like, I don't want to get into heavily to it because it's just too upsetting. But
if you want to go ahead, go. I don't mind.
Well, my mom died 12 years ago. She was diagnosed with ALS, which is called like also Lou Gehrig's disease, and for the last 3 months of her life, I was with her in the hospital, and I was fighting to fight for her to be treated well and heard. Well, not even heard. She couldn't speak anymore, but like just to be treated well. And I flew from here in New Jersey back to Indiana so that I could be with her. And those 3 months were the most devastating I could never have imagined. When you're watching the person who has fought for you your whole life, who gave you life, who loves you, die in front of you every day, that doesn't leave your head. I was sleeping in the parking lot or in the hospital. It's like I was there for all of it. And the disease progressed really quickly for her. So there would be one day where she would be saying she'd be motioning that her feet were hurting. So it would be like, okay, let me rub your feet. But it was the pain as the muscles were dying. So then 2 days later, it would be that her calves would be hurting. It was like from like the tips of the extremities up. It was like as her body was just trying to shut down. And I have to talk about it so clinically so that I don't break. But it was just her final moment. They were supposed to give more time for the morphine to let her fall asleep more before they turned off the ventilator. And they didn't do that. So she died in my arms in a panic. And I have waking nightmares about that. And this time of the year is the darkest time for me. Just quite ironically, this would normally be when I would like not ever talk about anything, because between October 18th and January 12th, which was the day she died, this particular time of each year, I have all the physical reminders, like with the season shifting, I just mentally put myself back into where was I at this point when it was like this before. Like, I love autumn leaves. Since I was a little kid, I've loved them. My parents we would go for a little family vacation to go camping or something in the fall to look at all the pretty colors. And now autumn leaves just make me think of the autumn leaves that were in the parking lots, like as I was trying to go into the hospital. And when it gets a little colder, it was me shivering in my mom's van in a parking garage because I was just trying to sleep. And all the like stuff that was happening beyond just her while I was there was so dark. And losing her, it broke me. It just broke me. So that is a wound that has never healed. And PTSD is it's the worst, Blue. So, yeah. I have to talk about it like it's not my mom, because it's too intense. But, a few years later, my dad died. He had Parkinson's, and my experience with him was different because he was, in a nursing home when it happened for him. And I wasn't right beside him seeing it happen. And I think that has a lot to do with why I wasn't able to find a way to come to peace and to grieve, but to not have it be like an open wound emotionally. Because when there's a really good person, if they've got to die, they deserve to die with dignity and peace. And that's not what happened for her. So yeah, that stays with me. But on the same token, I know how much it would upset her to know that I was still so like broken by this. So she was the best person I ever knew, Blue. Yeah. She fought for me every day. She told me I was her miracle. It's a bit of a trigger warning if someone's here regarding miscarriages, but she had a couple of miscarriages. I was the only baby that was ever successfully born for her. And when I was born, I was kind of dead. So that was that was a lot. So she called me her miracle. And I know a lot of people don't have good moms. I know that my experience with her was different, but it took a long time for me to not be angry when people said like bad things about their own parents. I'm like, don't you know how lucky you are that they're still alive? But not everyone had my mom. Some people had moms that didn't fight for them, didn't show up for them, didn't love them. And so I'm grateful that I had her. I wish that it would have been longer, but I'm really glad that she was my mom.
Yeah, so on these terms, some people may not know what bipolar disorder is. Can you explain a little bit on that spectrum or aspect, please? Like what it is?
For me, the bipolar, it can be sort of the extreme shift between two very different actions or emotions. So one of the hardest ones for me, and I hate this one, Blue, is sometimes if something is funny and it makes me laugh so hard, it like flips a little switch in my head and I just start sobbing uncontrollably. Like it like plummets me. And so sometimes I'm scared when I'm having a really good time. Like, is it going to trigger that like switch? Is it going to like flip? Other ways it can literally just mean that when I can get like my manic quote unquote episodes are more about me just being really like extra animated or chatty or a little random. It's nothing that you would necessarily think was a symptom of something more than just like I'm being goofy. But the bipolar stuff is for me mostly just the sharp shift in between the emotions. It's a lot of mental health issues are it's kind of you're dealing with like these problems, period. For me, it's the flip between the extremes. Like it's the like really kind of hyped up and a little manic, or like just really sad, just devastatingly like sobbing sad. And it's not a range that moves slowly enough that it's easy to adapt to. It's just such a sharp switch and it sucks.
Yeah, I can understand that. I do have some sort of like mood swings sometimes. I say I tell people one thing, that I could be your very best friend at some point, and then I could turn to your worst enemy. To just know how to act, know how to communicate, know how to react, because I have ADHD, and with ADHD comes a lot of bad things. One of them is RSD, rejection something dysphoria. Rejection
sensitive dysphoria. Yeah,
I have RSD, and I do take no for an answer, and I do like rejection, or I don't mind rejection, but like you have to word it in some ways that I can like cooperate with it. Because if you keep on giving me lies, and I will tell you why in a bit, if you keep on feeding me lies, that would trigger me so bad with RSD. Yeah. So yeah, but on that note, Bethany, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the time. Guys, go check out DiscoBlahBlah. It's the episode title. I will just go give her a follow. I will be lurking in her channels when I can. In her channel, actually, when I can. Well, when I say channels, it's like her Tragic Glamour goes live at 4 a.m. for me. So whenever I'm at a morning shift, which shouldn't happen anymore, hopefully anytime soon, because I hate waking up very early. It's like I should be awake at 6 a.m. and I'm like a night owl, so I sleep at 4 a.m. And that took a toll on my like physical shape, because we had one of my colleagues had prostate cancer this year, and he's fully cured now. So that I had to cover for him. Yeah.
Our times are not the greatest, Blue, in terms of like, for me, my Monday and my Friday streams would be happening at like 10 p.m. It starts at 10 p.m. your time.
Here's how you calculate my time. So PST, take away 2 hours from PST and flip the time of day for me. So right now it's 4 a.m. PST, like 4:16 PST.
Okay. Well, I was going based off of my time. I thought, is it like 2 p.m. for you right now?
Yeah, 2:16, yes. 14:16.
Yeah. So for me, you are about 7 hours ahead of me.
Yeah.
So my stream starts at 4 p.m. So it would be 11 for you, and that's why I'm like, it would be a little late unless you were just up super late. That would be why it would be a lot harder.
11 a.m. I would be awake, because Quill starts at 11 a.m. for me. Oh, PM. Okay, PM.
PM.
So it would
Yeah.
be 1 a.m.
Yeah.
No, I can still be there. I can still be there.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, Blue, and letting me talk about my stuff. And
course.
I'm really grateful you asked me to be here.
Of course, we've been planning this for what, months now?
Yeah, a couple months at least we've been talking about it.
It's been fun. Go check her out. Go give her a follow. If you love Unhinged in a creative way, if you like Unhinged Sims content in a creative way, she's your kind of channel. So go lurk, go show her all the love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.